Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're starting with something that, well, it sounds like really good news on the surface. India's latest employment figures came out,
Mm-hmm.
and the overall unemployment rate, it actually dropped in August, hit a 5-month low.
Yeah, that's the kind of headline that catches your eye, definitely.
Yeah,
Seems positive.
exactly. But, and this is the kicker, when you dig just a little bit deeper, you find this pretty striking paradox hiding under those numbers.
Right. It's rarely straightforward, is it?
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We're going to unpack the August data from India's Periodic Labor Force Survey, the PLFS.
Okay.
We really want to get into these sort of conflicting signals and figure out what's really going on with jobs in India, especially, for young people and for women.
Good plan. There's definitely a lot to look at there.
Okay, so first, that headline number. The overall unemployment rate for everyone aged 15 and up, it did fall slightly.
Yeah, I saw that from 5.2% in July.
Down to 5.1% in August. So a small dip, but still downwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is where it starts getting, let's say, complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Because while that overall number nudged down,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the youth, specifically the 15 to 29 age group, their unemployment rate actually went up.
Up, not down.
No, up from 18% in July to 19% in August.
Mm-hmm.
So, heading in the opposite direction to the overall trend.
Wow, okay, 18 to 19%, that's already quite high.
It is, and it shows it's an ongoing issue, doesn't it? But wait, it gets even more concerning when you split it by gender within that youth group.
Oh, how so?
Well, the rate for young men, 15 to 29, it basically stayed flat, held steady around 13%.
Okay.
But for young women in that same age bracket, their unemployment rate surged. It jumped massively from 21.4% in July.
Get out, seriously.
All the way up to 25.7% in August.
25.7%. That's
Yeah.
that's over 1 in 4 young women.
Exactly. A huge jump and a massive gap opening up compared to young men. It's pretty stark.
So hang on, how does that even work? How can the overall rate be going down slightly when unemployment for young people is going up and for young women it's like soaring? It doesn't seem to add up.
Yeah, it feels counterintuitive, right? But the key is this other metric, the labor force participation rate, the LFPR.
Ah, right, the LFPR. Explain that connection again.
Okay, so the LFPR basically measures the share of the population that is either working or actively looking for work. And the overall LFPR actually dipped a bit in August.
Dipped, meaning fewer people in the workforce overall.
Sort of, yeah. And crucially, the female LFPR dropped noticeably. It went down to 33.7%.
Okay, so fewer women were counted as being in the labor force.
Precisely. And here's the statistical link.
Mm.
If people, especially women in this case, stop actively looking for a job, maybe they're discouraged, maybe family responsibilities increased, whatever the reason,
Right.
they're no longer counted as in the labor force. And if you're not in the labor force, you can't be counted as unemployed in the statistics.
I see. So fewer people officially looking means fewer people officially unemployed, even if they don't actually have jobs.
Exactly. It can push the overall unemployment rate down, even if the underlying job situation hasn't really improved or has perhaps worsened for some groups who've dropped out.
That makes the headline figure seem, well, a bit hollow, doesn't it? It hides so much.
It can, yeah. It highlights why you always need to look under the hood
Yeah.
beyond just the main number.
So let's connect back to that 19% youth unemployment then. What does that tell us about, the bigger picture for India's economy?
Well, it underlines this persistent challenge India faces in, like capitalizing on its demographic dividend. You have this huge young population.
Yeah, potential workers.
But translating that potential into good jobs, into economic growth is proving difficult. It suggests, issues with skills matching market needs, or maybe just a lack of enough quality jobs being created.
And the situation for young women, that massive jump to over 25% unemployment, what's driving that specifically, do we think?
It points to some really deep-seated gendered issues in the labor market. It could be a mix of things, maybe fewer jobs available that are considered suitable or safe for women. Perhaps increased pressure from household duties, or maybe economic shocks hitting sectors where women are more concentrated.
Yeah.
It's likely a combination.
It really paints a picture of disproportionate burdens, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
So the big takeaway here seems to be, don't just read the headline unemployment rate.
Definitely not. It's just one piece of a much larger, more complex puzzle.
That falling overall rate, while maybe statistically true, kind of masks these really worrying trends underneath, like women leaving the workforce and young people struggling to find work, especially young women.
Exactly. Those are pretty significant red flags, aren't they? They signal that just focusing on the overall number isn't enough. Real inclusive growth needs more.
It suggests that maybe disengagement from the workforce is being statistically mistaken for some kind of economic stability.
That's a good way to put it. And it means that achieving, sustainable and genuinely inclusive growth isn't just about creating any jobs. It needs very specific, targeted policies to tackle the barriers that women and young people face just getting into and then staying in the workforce.
Which really makes you think, what kind of targeted actions would make the biggest difference? What specific steps could actually help build a job market in India that works for everyone, not just statistically, but in reality?
That's the crucial question, isn't it? Something for all of us, perhaps, to consider.
Indeed. Something to ponder until our next deep dive.